You're watching the Retirement Halftime Show. I'm your host, Alexander Joyce, and of course with me is Andrea Morehead. She is our community impact anchor, and we're sharing a story about an organization that goes out there and collects produce, if you will, and volunteers their time to help other people. Kind of walk us through that.
Well, unfortunately, Alex, there are thousands of people across the state of Indiana who are food insecure.
Sure.
But this local nonprofit organization that you speak of, as well as farmers across the entire state of Indiana, they are coming together to make sure they end hunger. The Sunflower Festival Labor Day weekend ushers in the fall fun at Stucky Farms in Sheridan. Behind the 8 acres of bright yellow are 24 acres of apple trees.
Is that one?
Is that up here?
Yeah.
Ready for the picking.
This is my first time picking apples. I'm having so much fun.
From farm to table, there's joy in stocking up on your favorite Stucky salsa and, of course, apple cider. But have you ever wondered what happens to the fruits and vegetables that aren't picked?
Because the reality is there's really good apples that have fallen off because you pick, kids come through and they pick one apple and 3 fall off. So we take the good ones off the ground.
Dawn Barnes is a director with the Society of St. Andrew. The organization has been gleaning America's fields and feeding America's hungry since 1979. The United Methodist Hunger Relief nonprofit
In 2018, we were one of the hungriest states in the United States.
works with farmers around the country, including 45 in Indiana, to supply fresh produce. Stucky Farms has been part of the program for 6 years. Why is it important for you and your family to do so, to give back?
I was always taught that, whatever ways that you are blessed, you can't take that for granted, and you should be giving back. My family, we're Christians, and we feel like that's part of our duty, that God has blessed us with this opportunity, and we like to share it.
These apple trees are so plentiful right now.
Like this morning, they told us go to the back middle rows and you can take anything on those rows.
Because it's a you-pick farm, we can't pick off the trees, so we just get the stuff on the ground. The area that I grew up in Putnam County, there was a lot of food insecurity there, and so I see the need, and it's great not to have the food go to waste.
Jerry Garrett is retired and volunteers about 2 times a week.
Picked apples, cucumbers, butternut squash, lots of corn, lots of tomatoes. Trying to think, we picked blueberries, we picked cherry tomatoes, just old greens, a lot of kale and greens in the spring.
When you look at these apples, what does this mean when you're picking them up? What is going on in your mind as you're picking?
On the ground here, we have to inspect the apples and everything, and I think, would I give this one to my grandma, or, because she grew up very poor, during the Depression and everything, and, I want to give them the best product possible.
Volunteers gather the produce, which is later cleaned and given to nearby food pantries.
For what we find here in Indiana, it's the working hungry. It's people who are working, 2 or 3 jobs that are not making a living wage and not able to meet all their bills. So they're paying bills, but food is an easy way to fill in the gap that they could go to a pantry and help out with their budget for the month.
What have you taken away from this?
Well, there are muscles in my back I didn't know that I had, first of all.
Right. I bet. Wayne is another volunteer.
I have picked cabbages, corn, strawberries, apples. It really makes you appreciate our brothers and sisters who are immigrant farm workers.
Yes.
We work out here for 2 hours and we're exhausted. And I think when I'm doing something, we're bending over all the time, picking up cabbages or strawberries or whatever. Those people do it 8, 10, 12 hours a day and give us all the food that we have. And we just don't have enough sympathy for the job they do to bring the food to our table.
The Society of St. Andrew could use more volunteers.
We want volunteers to come out and we want them to bring their friends and family.
Just go to their website to sign up on the portal, and you'll be matched with a farm near you. With annual operating costs of $300,000, your donations are greatly needed. Consider becoming a monthly donor, knowing your support is feeding our Hoosier friends and neighbors.
It's an enjoyable experience to know that you're doing some good, and it's the right thing to do.
So when you buy your favorite Stucky Farms homemade items in the store, pick apples from its orchard,
Any more?
This one too.
This one?
Yeah.
or grab a few pumpkins from the patch. Don't forget, food insecurity is a growing challenge in our state, and all of us can help reduce waste and end hunger.
Until then, we will continue to glean and work together and get the best food out to those who need it.
And if you would like to volunteer or even give money to the organization, just go to our website at ReJoyceFinancial.com/Andrea.
Thank you, Andrea. Stay tuned, folks. There'll be more sure to come.